Hi, everybody. Here I am, thanks for tuning in. Jill Lebowski, we're doing another Midlife Mojo Monday. Anybody recognize that song? I know if you're in your midlife, you're pretty much in your, 40s, 50s, 60s. You should recognize this song. One of my favorite. I don't know about you, but I have like a song, and this is it, American Girl by Tom Petty. This is kind of my song that, like, when I'm trying to get excited and get myself pumped up for something or get confidence or just feeling awesome, this is the song that I put on. So tell me, what's your song? What's your song that you put on when you get excited or you want to just pump yourself up? I'll let it play in the background for just another minute. And this is like the awkward part, you know, where you're kind of like waiting for people to get onto your live video. And I just kind of always hate this part. So I thought each week, let me turn this down even a little more, I would play a little song just to kind of get started. And then I also thought maybe for just like the minute while we're waiting for people to get on, I would just offer up some kind of trivia question. You know, I figured, you know, if you're kind of are familiar with your 60s, 70s, or 80s, lots of awesome music, movies, historical events happen. So I'm a big trivia person, so I thought that maybe I would just throw out a trivia question for us all to play with for just a couple of moments and as we wait for people to get on here. And some weeks maybe I'll even give a prize to a random winner who gets the answers right. So while you're thinking about your song, I'm going to play mine a little louder. Here we go. Hold on. Did it go? Oh, forget it. It must have shut off now. Don't ask me what I did. Anyways, I was playing my song American Girl there for you, those of you who just got on. You can play it a little bit earlier and rewind. But we were just talking about what's your like song that gets you psyched up and so forth. So if you want to add that into the comments, go ahead and let me know. But today's trivia question is, for those people, I'm an 80s girl, so for those of you who remember The Breakfast Club, write me in the comments, who were the 5 actors in The Breakfast Club? And do not cheat. Don't look it up. Maybe even let me know who your favorite is. All right, well, you guys are thinking about that. I'm just going to kind of get started a little bit. I just want to tell you really quickly that, first of all, after last week, I was really excited. I had, gosh, over 500 views of my Midlife Mojo Mondays, about 15, 16 shares. So I hope to get those numbers up this week because I really appreciate the really kind comments that I got all week long. And that's just kind of what I'm here to do, is just once a week, tune in for 5 to 15 minutes and just share a little bit of, I don't know, Jill wisdom, I guess, or Jill thoughts, more like it. And hopefully to interact a little and get a little back from you too on some of the topics we're going to discuss. Last week we talked about hot flashes, and this week we're going to talk about something a little bit more, I don't know, exciting, maybe, I don't know. We'll tell you in just a second. But if you're enjoying these Midlife Mojo Mondays and you want to get a little bit more in-depth information, because again, these are just little nuggets I'm giving, I am going to be doing a full-on webinar on Monday, September 24th at 8 p.m. on menopause and the essential oils specifically. So if that's a topic that interests you, I will put in the comments where the event, and you can go in there, and there's a place to pre-register, which is required, but it is a free webinar, and you can join me then. So, all right, let's see. So let's get going then. So what are we talking about today? Well, as I mentioned last week, we talked about hot flashes. So this week I thought we would talk about something even more exciting. I thought we would talk about menopause and sex, right? Everybody's ears perking up now. I know ever since I read this book, I'm pretty sure I wrote this book, No Sweat. It's only menopause, eating, exercise, and essential oils for a healthy change. And I'm pretty sure, and if anybody will admit it on comments, that people bought my book and immediately went to that chapter on sex and how to take care of it during menopause. And we will read from this just a little bit. But anyways, this is a topic I think that's really, really important, and one that I really like talking about, because really once I started writing this book and researching it, all my friends, and not even my friends, acquaintance people, and just even online people, as strangers, kind of started coming out of the woodwork telling me some of their bedroom woes, things that were going on for them, you know, things like, you know, sex was painful for them. Someone compared it to being like a virgin every single time. Or someone compared their dryness to being like the Sahara Desert. A lot of people I know, their libido is just gone. They have no sex drive. They're in love with their partner. They're attracted to their partner. They just don't really have any, desire to, unfortunately. And that leads to a lot of miscommunication. And that kind of leads to sometimes not having sex for sometimes months, sometimes years. And that can really affect people. I've had people come to me and say, they don't like their body anymore. They're embarrassed. Even in front of their husband, they won't let them see them naked anymore. And that's affecting their sex life. There's just a lot of different factors. And some people are having a great sex life, or maybe they've been with their partner for, a long time and they love them and sex is okay and it's good and you always enjoy it, but they kind of want to spice it up a little bit. So my book kind of goes into some natural remedies for all of those. And today I'm going to pick one of the topics to read from and give you a solution, because I really find that if I just give you information and I don't give you any solution or any action to take, then what's the point of us talking, right? I definitely like people to go out there and, act on what I'm talking about, because I know for myself, I know for my friends who I've given these suggestions to, it's really been a game changer. So I'm excited to kind of get started there. So let me just see if there's anything else I kind of wanted to mention real quick. No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just read a little bit from my book here. And just for those of you who are interested, I mentioned that in webinar. If you purchase this book, it's on sale on Amazon right now for 25% off both the ebook and the print book. But if you go ahead and purchase it before the webinar and bring it to the webinar and wave it around that day, I'm giving out a free gift for those people who bought it before, which no obligation, but just letting you know that that's available, and you get a little free gift if you do that. So let's go ahead and get ready, and I will read a little bit from my book today. And, again, I just really want to say that before I get started that, these are midlife. I called my segments here, my episodes, Midlife Mojo Mondays. Midlife is a time of life where we should not be curling in a ball and hiding under our blankets. This is the time where we should really getting out there, exploring ourselves, exploring all parts of us. And our sexuality is definitely one of those parts. And for a lot of women, maybe up until now, they haven't. Maybe with kids being around, it's kind of hard to, kind of really get out there and explore that side of yourself. And now that the kids are gone and they're out of the house, we should be in the bedroom lots more. We should be, really stepping things up a notch. But because of things like menopause, it really has inhibited a lot of women from exploring a really important side of themselves. So I'm hoping a few of these in my book and a little bit of some suggestions, and as we get to talking more over the coming weeks, I'm hoping that we can change some of that. So, all right, let's start here with my book. And I named this title Sensational Sex, SCENT, because we're going to talk a little bit about essential oils as a remedy. But here we go. A poll I read in a Cosmopolitan magazine sex and social media survey from August 15th, 2011, yes, I know, not very scientific, showed that 1 in 5 women prefer Facebook to sex, and 57% would rather give up sex than stop using the internet. Now, I love a little scrolling as much as the next gal, but virtual connection over human contact, that's just wrong. This is a time when divorce is becoming less common for younger adults, according to Pew Research Center. And so-called gray divorce is on the rise, almost doubling since the 1990s. In the epidemic of gray divorces, Psychology Today reports, gray divorce is the term used to refer to those who divorce after age 50. Some researchers call it a divorce revolution. And the numbers are growing, while divorce rates of other age groups are falling. Jessica O'Reilly, author of The New Sex Bible, writes, hormonal changes that arise with age can cause significant shifts in sex drive. And though every couple of every age experiences differentials and desires, these can become more pronounced with age. These hormonal changes occurring in women in perimenopause and postmenopause often result in not only to a lack of the sexual desire, but the awkwardness of the subject can lead to a lack of communication of these changes to their partner. Instead of a passionate Saturday night, it's another evening of watching Netflix until you both fall asleep. Lack of communication between couples leads to miscommunication. A week without physical connection turns into a month and even into years. The two main complaints about sex at this stage in life are lack of libido and painful intercourse, usually due to vaginal dryness. Essential oils have been used for sensuality and romance throughout the ages. Sensual images related to scents and fragrances can be seen in the sensual images created by ancient Egyptian writers and artists. The Song of Solomon in the Bible makes reference to scents, perfumes, and anointing oils. One line says, "His cheeks are like a bed of spices, banks of scented herbs. His lips are lilies dripping of liquid myrrh." The ancient Hindu text, the Kama Sutra, aka the Bible of sexuality, refers to aromatherapy. Decreased levels of progesterone or estrogen during menopause can lead to decreased feelings of sexual desire. And my book kind of goes on here to talk about some oils specifically about libido, and we'll talk about those in coming weeks, but I'm going to talk about vaginal dryness today, all right? So I'm going to read a little bit about that. So vaginal dryness. What about lubrication? It is vital for pleasurable sex. Unfortunately, the production of vaginal secretion subsides as we age. First of all, I just got to put this aside. Never in a million years did I think I'd be talking about vaginal lubrications on live internet in a million years. Let's just hope my 17-year-old son isn't watching this one. I'm going to definitely tell him not to. All right, sorry. That was just a little aside. Back to vaginal dryness. Here we go. The largest survey of U.S. women, Revive, Real Women's Views of Treatment Options for Menopausal Vaginal Changes, included 3,046 women with symptoms of vaginal dryness and revealed the following. 85% of partnered women had some loss of intimacy. 59% indicated their symptoms detracted from enjoyment of sex. 47% of partnered women indicated it interfered with their relationship. That's just really not very good. So let's talk about some things. This is an easy fix, actually. This is not something that's a difficult fix that you really have to go crazy about. Some immediate things you can do, including avoiding synthetic material in your underwear, not using scented and harsh soaps, and doing pelvic exercises like Kegels. You can also try vag massage with or without your partner. Leave more time for foreplay and try natural or chemical-free lubricant. I was shocked to learn the ingredients in most lubricants on the market. Vaginas are lined with mucous membranes that secrete and absorb fluids faster than skin, as do the clitoris, vulva, and urethra. Most lubricants contain chemicals that can damage vaginal tissues and can increase the risk of bacterial vaginosis and sexually transmitted diseases such as herpes and chlamydia. These chemicals disrupt a woman's internal pH and beneficial microbes. I switched years ago to organic coconut oil as a natural lubricant. It's easy to get at the grocery store, convenient to use, affordable, and it's antibacterial. Coconut oil will break down latex condoms, so if you're still in perimenopause, make sure to use a different contraceptive. Still not responsible for any unintended pregnancies. So you can use a lot of different kinds of, I use coconut oil, but there are a lot of other different kind of lubricants that you can also use as a base. And then you can add in essential oils, which are really wonderful for helping spice things up as well. There are some essential oils like clary sage, which I mentioned last week for hot flashes, but it's also good for vaginal. I'm rubbing here, this is where you would put it, but for increasing the vaginal secretions. But one thing that I like to use in terms of essential oils is my husband and I used to make them, but a lot of times the coconut oil just kind of got all over the place. So I use Young Living. They have a sensation massage oil, and it all comes pre-mixed with essential oils and a bunch of different kinds of a base of oils like olive oil, but there's also other oils in it like almond oil. I believe there's some grapeseed oil, and it's just a really nice smooth texture. And that's what we end up using for our lubricant, and it's a really great thing. So I do go ahead and I give some other suggestions for spicing up the bedroom. And then back here, I even have recipes for you as well to share. So if you haven't got my book, go ahead and get it. What you waiting for? Just joking. So anyways, so if there's any comments you have, I'll not, go ahead and put them in, if you haven't, if you're watching this on the replay, and I'll definitely go ahead and respond to them. But I hope that you enjoyed tonight. And again, just one last time, one more plug for my webinar. It's going to be next Monday night. It will be right after this. I'll do Midlife Mojo Mondays at 7:30, and at 8 o'clock, it's a Zoom, and I'll put it in the comments, and you can go ahead and pre-register, and it'll give you all the information that you need to go ahead. And we're going to go really in depth. I'm going to take 4 of the most common complaints of menopause, and we're going to talk about specifically essential oil solutions for them. And it's a 60-minute free webinar. Please share it with your friends. And I guess that's it. I see a lot of people who did. I'm really excited. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And again, go ahead and share if you enjoy. And I said I keep these to 15 minutes. I'm at 16 minutes, so I'm saying goodbye. Have a great night, and I'll see you all next Monday. Bye-bye.